Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to another episode of the Open-Minded Thinker Show. Well, this nobody that been banning the Quran and disrespecting the Ummah in Sweden is actually seeking to go more viral, like to be all over the world. I don't understand why he's doing that. The benefit he's going to derive from such rash behavior. The most painful thing is that this guy was a Muslim, and at this point he claims to be an ex-Muslim. And the most second painful part is that he is doing all this for profit. He has a problem with the Swedish immigration police, the immigration system. He's looking for a way to get a permanent residency in Sweden, and he's doing everything possible to impress the Swedish authority. Why they allow people like this, someone that has a refugee status, to behave like this is still very baffling. Even if he does so under an organization run by Swedish people themselves, there's no ground on where he could actually be behaving this way. But let's assume he's doing all this to curry favor from the Swedish authority. We would say he has failed. And if he's doing this to curry favor from Christians themselves, I think Christians don't support what he's doing. He actually has failed. This is evidence from a video he posted, I think yesterday. He actually went to a supermarket to buy stuff and was surprised that his fellow Iraqi citizens were busy, castigating him, telling him, we don't support what you're doing, insulting the sensibilities of, our brothers who are Muslims are very bad, stoking tension, causing diplomatic rifts, and generating problem from nowhere is not within our interest as we live in Sweden. I think that's the message they were trying to pass to this nobody who thinks burning the Quran would actually earn him, fame, sympathy, and most of all, the permanent residency of the Swedish authority.
Varför?
Därför. Du går och bränner Koranen därför.
Jag bränner Koranen. Because that you don't want.
I don't want to send you.
Okay. حبايبي مثل ما جاي يشوفون. ما يهمني ما تقول ما يهمني انا جيت اشتري قال لي ما بيحلف لانك انت مالك علاقه.
Apparently what is happening here is that he came to a supermarket, according to his narration here, the translation. He came to a supermarket to buy something, and the supermarketers, who possibly was a Muslim, decided not to sell to him. That action, I think, maybe born out of anger and maybe overreaction, because they might have just sold this thing to him and he goes his way. But this Muslim expressed his anger by not selling the Coca-Cola to him, because apparently he has been provoking Muslims all around. And I think this is the best of reactions, because this a powerful sanction. He has not been hurt, and no one would say Muslims are this, Muslims are that, Muslims are this and that. But the most important thing here is that he's been denied a very important thing. He wanted to buy something. He has been sanctioned through the little power that the Muslim have at that material time. But something happened. What I can see here is, yes, because you insult Islam, I'm Christian, and I insult, and you insult Islam. These are Iraqi Christians somewhere challenging him, telling him, why do you insult Islam? We are all one. Why do you do that? When you insult Islam, you insult Christianity as well. So if you think Christians are happy and jubilated and you're burning Qurans, that's not true. Christians don't lead to that. Christians, you don't want a situation where things can escalate beyond the way it should be. So it's wrong to assume that Christians are in support. And this Iraqi Christian has demonstrated it apparently for everyone to see.
ما لك علاقة، أنت مو محامي. ما لك علاقة. أنا اجيت أشتري كوكاكولا وقال لي ما أبيع لك.
يعني أنت من العالم كلها وحتى الناس فيها.
تتأذى ما تتأذى مو مشكلتي، هاي مشكلتك.
The truth is that this nobody is really very rude. I expected him to go to the Christian and explain to the Christian maybe why or his motivation for banning the Quran, but the honest truth is that he has no cogent motivation. Because if you say motivation, why is he banning the Quran? Is there anything that Islam has done to him except fueling the Islamophobia that lies deep in the heart of people in the Scandinavia or many people in the West? So he's trying to inflame this fire. He's trying to say, well, Islam is the problem. Why Islam is not the problem? The woke culture is the problem. The problem have never been Islam. Now, let me tell you a little story. Some people say, oh, look at Turkey today, which is Constantinople, where once the seat of Christendom. In fact, Constantinople is regarded as a second Rome, where Constantine the Great of Rome conquered the Roman Empire. He moved east as a capital, leaving the west as present-day Italy. And some people say what happened, that today Turkey is 98% Islam. And people attribute it to the action of Muslims, fighting, coming to conquer Turkey and what have you. These are people who are ignorant, because if you're not ignorant, you would realize that there was already great infighting between the Orthodox branch of Christianity and the Western branch of Christianity. That's the East and West. This was the reality. There was already infighting. Some Christians were actually killing other Christians because they refused to obey the Pope, or some others were killing because they refused to obey the seat of the See of Constantinople. So this friction was apparently causing a lot of havoc in the community, in the society, in the Christian kingdom at that time. So Islam came to the rescue. When Islam came, Islam offered a more generous living together, living in peace, and many people accepted it. And today the reality is that 98% of the people living in Turkey today are Muslims. In fact, Constantinople is the seat of Islam, and it's a sign of victory and also a message from God that Islam is the one true faith. If you are watching us from Sweden, I encourage you, when you see this guy, sanction him. I'm not saying you should do anything bad to him, but sanction him. If he's coming to your stand to buy something, decide not to sell to him. By so doing, he's going to restrip his steps, be forgiven, and confess that Allah is the one true God. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, and subscribe if you've not done so. Until next time, cheers. Assalamu alaikum.